Hello children, Crop Production and Management, Class 8, Part 3. So far, we have discussed about different agricultural practice. Now, let us look at the next agricultural practice, that is irrigation. So far, what did we study? We studied about soil preparation, that is, even before we think of cultivating crops, and the soil should get prepared. So we prepare the soil by plowing and watering. Once that is done, the next is we sow seeds and apply manures and fertilizers so that the soil is enriched with all the required plant nutrients. The next step is irrigation, which we are gonna discuss now. As we all know, plants need a lot of water to grow. Suppose if we stop watering a plant for a couple of days, we can see that the plants die. So, what is irrigation? The supply of water to crops at different intervals is called irrigation. What is irrigation? The supply of water at regular intervals is called irrigation. Here we are mainly concerned about artificial irrigation, not the natural source like rainfall. Okay. Irrigation requirements of crops also depends upon the nature of the crop, the nature of the soil and season. That is, the time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil and season to season. That is, some crops require more water, some require less water, and the need for irrigation in some season is high and in some season it is very low, like during rainy season. Okay. Next, the importance of water in plant growth. Why irrigation is so much necessary in the case of plants. Okay. First thing is that helps in germination of seeds. That is, water helps the plant germination from the seeds. Okay. Second one, dissolved nutrients absorbed by plants. In the previous practice, we discussed that we add manure and fertilizers in the soil for the better growth of plants. So how does plants absorb these nutrients in the soil? Actually, water acts as a medium through which the plant roots absorb these nutrients from the soil. Okay, water acts as a medium for these nutrients to get absorbed by the plants. Third one, photosynthesis. You all know what is photosynthesis, right? Photosynthesis is the process of preparing food in the form of glucose by the plants in the presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide and water. Look, photosynthesis important part is water. Okay. So without photosynthesis, plants will not prepare food. Also we know that this food is getting prepared from the leaves. How does the food transfer to other part of the body? Here also the water act as a medium through which the food prepared by the leaves get transferred to other part of the plant body. Fourth one, regulates temperature. That is, it maintains the temperature of plants. Okay. So water is an important part in the case of plant growth because it helps in germination of seeds. It helps to absorb nutrients from the soil. It is an important factor in the case of photosynthesis and it maintains temperature. Okay. So next is, why is irrigation needed? Irrigation is needed because, as we all know, we do not get rainfall throughout the year, right? So agriculture and is also largely dependent on water. So we have to frequently irrigate our crops for the better health. Also, in case of India, irregular distribution of rainfall is there. That is, some part of the place get more rain, some part get less rain. So there is a irregular in distribution of rainfall in India, which also necessitates the irrigation. Okay. Also, when we compare the productivity of irrigated land and a land which is not irrigated, we can see that the productivity of an irrigated land is much more when compared to unirrigated land. Also, irrigation facilities has ensured many fallow land or converted many fallow land under cultivation. Also, and the last point, irrigation helps to grow more than one crop in most of the areas of the country. Irrigation is necessary because of uneven distribution or irregular distribution of rainfall in India, because of the large dependence of agriculture on rains, helps in multiple cropping. Okay, now irrigation is necessary, we have established that fact. How is irrigation done? Irrigation can be done, carried out by two different methods. One is traditional method and the next one is modern method. Traditional method is ancient method that we people used before the invention of technology. Okay, first we are going to discuss about traditional methods. In this method, irrigation is done manually, that is human work is needed. Here a farmer or a cultivator pulls out water from wells or canals by himself or by the use of cattle to farming fields. That is, here lot of human labor is required. This method can vary in different regions. One of the main advantages of traditional method is that it is very cheap. We are not using much technology or much uh, costly things in this, so it is very cheap. Disadvantages are too much human labor is required, that is to pull out the water, and use of cattle, etc. Also, in this case, the chance of water losses are very high, and there may even lead to uneven distribution of water. That is, some part of our field gets more water, some part gets less water. Okay, so advantages, the only advantage is that it is cheap. The disadvantages is that it may lead to loss of water, leads to uneven distribution of water in the field, and too much human labor is involved. Some of the examples of traditional systems are moat or pulley system, that is use of pulley in the case of, in while we are drawing water from the wells. Nowadays also we can see pulleys there. Similar to that way, the people draw water from the wells or canals, uh, and then distributing in the field. Okay, lever system or rahat, chain pump, Dekli. Among these, the pump system is the most common and used widely. Here are the pictures of the four one. Dekli is there, chain pump is there, pulley system is there, rahat is there. Okay, next is modern system. Because traditional system has some drawback, we have introduced new method of irrigation that includes mod modern methods. The modern methods compensates the disadvantages of traditional methods and thus helps in the proper way of water usage. That is, modern method had overcome the disadvantages of traditional methods. The modern method involves two systems, sprinkler system and drip system. First we are going to discuss about sprinkler system. What is sprinkler system? As the word itself indicates, sprinkler system means sprinkling of water or spraying of water. As sprinkler system, as its name suggests, sprinkles water over the crop and helps in an even distribution of water. One of the main drawbacks of traditional method is that they causes to uneven distribution of water. So the sprinkler system just overcame that. This method is much advisable in areas facing water scarcity. Both sprinkler system and drip system are mostly can be used in areas where there is scarcity of water. Okay, as we can see in the case of picture, the water is being sprayed. How it is done is that usually they pull out water from the well or other sources using a motor which is connected to the main pipe, and there are many secondary pipes which are perpendicular in the field. Okay, these pipes have nozzles, rotating nozzles. The water usually comes out these rotating nozzles and they spray water to whole field. Okay, this is actually done. Here no human labor is involved because no human is needed to roam around the fields, and less time is required to water the pipe. So entire field will get water at the same time. That is, more, that is, there will be efficient distribution of water, because whatever amount of water is coming from one nozzle, each and every nozzle gets same amount of water from each, that is same amount of water is being drawn out from the nozzle in each and every nozzle. Okay, that means every part of the field gets uniform amount of water. And the next important thing is no wastage of water, because once the irrigation is over, we can immediately switch it off. So there is no wastage of water, even distribution of water in every part of the field also. Okay, the next system is drip system. Drip is related to the term drop. Okay, in drip system, instead of sprinkling, water falls drop wise near the roots. That is, water supply is done drop by drop exactly at roots using a hose or a pipe. You can see it in the picture. This method can also be used in regions where water availability is less, that we have already said. Okay, so here drop by drop this water is being injected at the root of the plants, so there is no wastage of water. Okay, next, if we can ensure the water availability needed for irrigation by rainwater harvesting. If some places, there already mentioned in, we cannot, some places we have less rainfall, so while they are having rain, they can collect the water and can be used for later for irrigation. That is, we can ensure the availability of water by rainwater harvesting. Okay, so advantages of modern method is that no human labor is involved. Okay, we already said no wastage of water, more efficient method. These three advantages we can quote from both the methods, that is sprinkler system and drip system. Both we can see that there is no human labor, there is no wastage of water, and it is the more efficient method when compared to traditional method. Okay, we have irrigated our crop. Next step is protection from weeds. What are weeds? These are unwanted plants in the cultivated field. That is, if you are cultivating a wheat plant or anything else, we can see that there is some other plants that are growing along with our cultivated plant. That type of plants is called weeds. Okay, these unwanted plants, they have a characteristics that they will just grow under any conditions and anywhere. It is not required by the farmers like some other plants, like farmers have to sow seeds and water it and take care of it. They just grow their own. So farmers have to give proper attention that these weeds are not grown. Okay, farmers have to make ensure that these weeds are not grown along with their cultivated field. So how do weeds affect the crops, or why we are scared of it, or why do we need to get rid of them? It is because they compete for nutrients, space, water, and light with our plant, that is our desired or cultivated plant, therefore adversely affect crop growth. What happens is that when weeds also start growing in the same field, means it start competing with the crops for nutrients, sunlight, etc. That is, the desired crops and weeds compete each other. We do not want weeds to take the nutrient space of our desired or our cultivated crops, is it? So the weeds are actually growing at the cost of our desired crops, and these weeds are affecting our desired crops. So it is necessary that we should protect our crops, or we should avoid weeds. So how can we manage? How can this be controlled? Weed management includes land preparation and hand weeding. That is the first step of agriculture practice, is that what? Land preparation. We can remove weeds while we are preparing the land from the starting itself, while we are preparing the land. And also we can hand weeding. Hand weeding means what? We can remove the weeds by hand, but it is a tedious job, lot of time consuming, and also human labor is involved. So another method is that weeds can also be controlled by applying weedicides. What is weedicides? Pesticides, we know it is used to remove or kill pest. Insecticide, it is used to remove insects. Similarly, weedicides is used to remove or kill weeds. Okay, these are chemicals which kill weeds without damaging the crops. So while we are using weedicides, we have to ensure that our crops does not get damaged. These chemicals are actually diluted with water and is sprayed. While spraying, we should make sure that it is, since it is dangerous or it is harmful, we human beings must make sure that our nose and mouth should be covered properly. Okay, chemicals like 2,4-D are common examples of weedicide. Okay, what are weeds? Weeds are the unwanted plants that grows along with the cultivated crops. Why should we get rid of weeds? Because they compete for nutrients, space, water and land. How can be controlled weed can be controlled by using weedicides, hand weeding, or while land preparation itself. Okay, next is harvesting. So once our irrigated and our plants have grown, and when once our plants got matured, we have to cut it off. So harvesting is cutting of crops after it is matured. Okay, so usually harvesting is done in the case of crops like paddy, rice and wheat. When golden yellow color is reached, it indicates that harvesting season is near. So the season of harvesting is usually celebrated as a festival like Pongal and Bihu, because farmers have put so much of efforts in this from the beginning itself, from land preparation to harvest. So it is usually season of happiness, and usually they enjoy it, celebrate it as some festivals. Okay, sometimes you should harvest it properly. Sometimes early harvesting will cause loss of unripened grains, and delayed harvesting leads to shedding of grains. Also, while we should also take care of our crops when the harvesting season is near, because some birds or insects eat the grains. So it is necessary to regularly examine the crop as harvesting period approaches. Okay, so harvesting is done, irrigation is done, harvesting is done. Okay, next is once the crops are harvested, sorry, how can we harvest this? Harvesting can be done either manually or by using machines. Okay, manually we are using sickle. The first picture shows the sickle. Harvesting can be done manually using a sickle or with a machine called harvester or combine harvester. Harvester or combine harvester picture is given, second one. Harvesting is not only about cutting crops but also involves separation of grain seeds from chaff. What is chaff? Chaff is a thin yellowish covering of the grain. So once harvesting is done, we have to remove the unwanted part of our seeds, grain seeds, and we have to remove that chaff, that is outer covering of these grains. So combine harvester allows both harvesting, that is cutting of crops, and also removal of this chaff from the grains. This process of separation of grain seeds from chaff is called threshing. Okay, the process of separation of grains from chaff is called threshing. In small scale, that is small scale farmers usually use winnowing as a process for threshing. Winnowing, what is winnowing? Winnowing can be linked with the word wind. Winnowing means the process of separation of grains from chaff by using or with the help of wind. That is, actually wind is being passed through this chaff plus grain, and since chaff is lightweight, they usually get blown away with the wind, while the heavyweight grains is settled back. Okay, so in small scale usually this threshing is done by a process called winnowing. It is a manual process. Okay, so what is combine harvester? Combine harvester, the name combine comes from because it helps in cutting as well as in separating grains from chaff. That is, it does harvesting as well as threshing. Okay, once this chaff is removed from our grains, what will we do with the chaff? Ensure that We should never ever burn the leftovers on the field or anywhere, because burning usually, as we all know, burning usually leads to air pollution. And if you are burning it in our field itself, means what? It causes, of course, it causes air pollution. Along with it, it causes harm to other organisms living in the field, as well as it can affect the top layer texture of the field too. Okay, once we are harvested, we have lots of grains in our hand. So next we have to store it for later purpose, or we have to, sometimes we need to transport it to other cities. Okay, so we have to store it. That is the last step of agricultural practice, is that we have to store the crops. Okay, proper storage of food grains is important to protect against moisture, microorganisms and insects. Moisture means what? Moisture is the water. Presence of water is called moisture. If the seed is moistured, means it favors the growth of bacteria which can spoil the food. Microorganisms also affect it, and insects, as we all know, it's a most of the insects are carriers of many diseases, so we should properly storage the food grains in order to protect it from against moisture, microorganisms and insects. Okay, inadequate storage space and improper storage methods can lead to huge grain loss. Farmers have put so much effort in them, so we have to take care of it while storing the crops. So in order to protect these crops against moisture or bacteria or such microorganisms, usually we are storing it in a metallic conductors or jute bags. Also we can use neem leaves. Neem leaves have some alkaloid present in them which will repel pathogens. Pathogens means microorganisms. Okay, large scale storage of grains is done in silos and granaries. Large scale storage is usually done in silos and granaries. Granaries are rooms that is usually allotted for such storage. Next is the pictures of silos. First picture is a metallic container, silos, and the next one is granaries. Okay. So far we have discussed that how we get food from plants, and how we can cultivate food from plants, how it is how what are the steps we should undertake while cultivating, etc. Food is also obtained from animals for which animals are reared. So by maintaining proper steps and maintaining certain taking care of certain factors, we can also obtain food from animals too. This is called animal husbandry. That is, we can also obtain food from animals by taking proper care of animals and properly rearing the animals. This is called animal husbandry. For example, in the coastal areas, they are usually proper maintaining the fish. It is an example. We can see hen farm, etc. So that is animal husbandry. So overall, in this lesson, we discussed about the entire process of crop production and management. It all started with the preparation of soil. We prepared the soil by plowing and leveling it, and then we sow seeds on the prepared soil and added manure and fertilizers to provide enough nutrients for better growth of crops. Then we irrigated the plants, we decided to protect the plants from weeds and harvested, which is followed by threshing. Lastly, we stored the harvested crops. Okay, this lesson is over. Thank you.